Eternal optimism is becoming a rare personality trait these days, but it's the driving force behind every accomplishment, milestone, and goal that Rob Denson pursues. Rob achieved a significant milestone this past December by becoming the longest-serving president in the 58-year history of Des Moines Area Community College, a position he's held since 2003. To say that Rob rose from humble beginnings would certainly be an understatement of profound proportions. Rob Denson was born at the University of Iowa Hospital and grew up on the family farm in Iowa Township of Iowa County near Homestead, just south of the Amana Colonies. The oldest of 5 children, Rob is proud that his early education was in a one-room schoolhouse with no indoor bathroom. In fact, he had to carry water to school in a cream can. Growing up on a farm allowed Rob to become very active in 4-H, and he was elected president of both the local Iowa County chapter and his Marengo High School FFA. Rob attended Iowa State University.
I was the assistant director of residence in charge of hiring the RAs on the floor, and he interviewed, and the year before we'd had an RA who was a freshman, flunked out, so we had decided we were not going to hire any freshmen as RAs. But he came through with the interview, and of course, obviously, he was not selected. But he still has the letter that says he was not selected, which he showed me the other day. But anyway, so he decided then to go to the fraternity system.
He was a fraternity president and created ISU Volunteers, as he received a bachelor's degree in political science and economics and a master's in higher education administration. He helped supplement his tuition at ISU by working summers and college breaks driving a semi-truck for the Homestead Kent feed mill, a job that instilled a lifelong passion for truck driving and hard work.
I love that, he has his CDL, he drives a semi, he has DMAC plastered all across the side of it. I think every time I see him, he gives me a DMAC pin, so I must have 100. I was going to wear all of them for this, but I thought I would at least have the one pin on to be reflective of that.
Rob met the love of his life, Pat, as the result of a blind date. They'll celebrate 54 years of marriage in 2024. Pat knew it was a match made in heaven when Rob pulled up in front of her home in Riverton, Iowa for their first date, driving a semi that was pulling a cattle trailer that clearly showed signs of its recent use. She was also impressed when he spent a summer working at a Missouri meatpacking plant, cutting up cow stomachs so they could afford their honeymoon in a borrowed pop-up trailer at a small lake near Bedford, Iowa. Rob and Pat eventually said goodbye to Iowa in 1973 when Rob got a job as assistant dean of students at the University of Florida. They'd planned to stay a year. It ended up being 25. Rob received his law degree from U of F and eventually operated his own civil trial practice for 16 years. It was a fortuitous close loss in a race for the Florida State House, a loss Rob says was the best thing that ever happened to him that eventually led him back to his first love, higher education. Rob became assistant to the president and dean of advancement and legal counsel at Santa Fe Community College in Gainesville, where he was dubbed the Dean of Possibilities, which introduced him to the community college system and its mission, a mission he's believed in ever since. Rob and Pat moved home to Iowa after 25 years in the Sunshine State when he was appointed president of Northeast Iowa Community College. Under Rob's watch, the college's dairy facility was built and college-wide enrollment increased by 58%. It was in 2003 when Rob took over the presidency of Des Moines Area Community College and its 6 campuses, becoming only the 4th DMAC president since 1966 and the only native-born Iowan. During Rob's tenure, DMAC has witnessed growth of over 70%.
You always see him in the community. He is the community in community college. When I look around, there is President Denson involved.
He does his homework. And that's the other thing about Rob. He always does his homework when it comes to whether he goes to a business or to a person that they're asking for a gift. He always does his homework.
He's a convener and a collaborator. I love that too. He's tenacious. He does not take no for an answer.
DMAC was recognized as the 10th best in value of the more than 1,700 two-year colleges in the country. It has the lowest property tax rate and highest bond rating of any Iowa community college, and has the lowest tuition and fees of any college or university.
There was a time when, students would look at DMAC as where you would go if you can't enroll in any other college. Then, okay, I guess I have to go to DMAC. Well, that's not the case anymore. I mean, you see students proudly wearing the DMAC shirt and saying that they attend DMAC. And I think I credit President Denson for this, because he exudes pride in what happens at DMAC and pride in the students.
DMAC also has the distinction of enrolling the most culturally diverse student population in the Iowa higher education system.
Rob is masterful in building relationships, and that's not an easy thing to do because of the diversity that exists in, every interaction that you have to be authentic, you have to be real, and people can see through if you're just very, I call it surface, and not being someone that is of substance, and he's a man of substance.
Part of his legacy, I think, is in the what they call career academies. He is really put together a marketing and admissions plan, and also availability. They have 6 campuses, 13 centers, which are directly tied to the workforce.
Well, I think it was really Rob that helped bring together education in the classroom and businesses. And through work-based learning and registered apprenticeship programs that he helped define and has really led on at DMAC with the career academies, really the coordination with school districts all across the state, his coordination with businesses and the impact that he's had on their growth and providing a pipeline of workforce for small, medium, and large businesses. It's been instrumental in where we're at today. We lead the country with registered apprenticeship programs, and he's one of the reasons that we can tout and talk about that statistic.
Here are just some of the programs and construction projects that have come about at the 6 DMAC campuses and now 7 academy sites under Rob's leadership. Jasper County Career Academy and Legacy Plaza at the Newton campus. Implementation of the auto and building trades and new classrooms in Carroll. The Charles Betts Center for Auto Trades Instruction, as well as STEM and Student Center expansion and renovations at the urban campus. New labs and data center at the West campus. Expansion of civil engineering technology and nursing at the Boone campus, along with expanded housing, campus wellness, and athletic expansion. And at the Ankeny campus, students have taken advantage of a new health sciences building and FFA Enrichment Center, the Allbaugh Family Iowa Culinary Institute, Trail Point Aquatics and Wellness Center, a criminal justice training house, and much more.
He really makes a difference in any of the initiatives that he's involved in, and that's why, to be honest, he's one of the first persons that I go to. He's engaged, he's an innovator, a convener, a collaborator. He is a big thinker.
As one would expect, Rob has shared his insight on numerous boards and organizations throughout the state, including the Governor's STEM Advisory Council and Executive Committee, the Iowa Ag Literacy Foundation, the Iowa Rural Development Council, the Greater Des Moines Partnership, the Iowa Economic Development Authority, Iowa Workforce Development, Iowa Caregivers Association, Iowa Student Loan, the Shazam Board, Empower Rural Iowa, and several more. Rob has been universally praised and recognized by ISU with the Cardinal Key and a Laureate Award by the College of Education, the Greater Des Moines Partnership Leadership Institute Arthur Davis Award, the Siegel Foundation, the French Medal of Agriculture from the Government of France, the Iowa Community College Trustees President of the Year Award, the Kosovo Award from the Kosovo Consulate General, as well as awards for support and outreach from the Asian, Hispanic, and African American communities. Rob and Pat have 2 children, daughter Robin and son Cliff, and 5 grandchildren, Casey, Truett, Brooks, Anna, and Shepard. Rob says the best times are when he and Pat are together with all of them. Rob Denson has always maintained that education is the key to solving most of the world's problems. And thanks to his leadership and many years providing a solid education for tens of thousands of students, he's helped to make the world and the state of Iowa a whole lot less problematic.
He is very authentic and real in terms of who he is. You see, when you see Rob, if you see Rob today and you see him 10 years from now, it'll be the same Rob. You never question which Rob will I see.
And he's working with young people, he's working with school districts, he's working with businesses, he's working with adult learners, really connecting each and every one of them to the opportunities that exist here in Iowa. So because of that effort and that background, he's driving economic growth and prosperity in every single corner of our state.
Thanks for your eternal optimism, Rob. Keep making it happen. And congratulations on your induction into the 2023 Iowa Business Hall of Fame.